WSTKS-FM Worldwide. Digital collaborative learning for the 21st century. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to week 2 of the Collaborative Café, a podcast to help students like you navigate IAH209 Film Noir with greater success. Today, let's talk about the 6 points to keep in mind when crafting your independent reflections, part of the work you'll complete for this course. So grab a mug of your favorite beverage, pull up a chair, and join me for a quick look at how to develop these brief assignments. In the following discussion, we'll consider the task at hand, the purpose behind these assignments, the skills and knowledge you cultivate, as well as the tasks and choices available to you, plus the content of successful reflections. Ready? Then here we go. Point 1, let's clarify the task. As a student in IAH209 Film Noir, you will create 10 well-organized, detailed reflections on your collaborative and independent learning between week 2 and week 13. Points to address in your reflections include brief description of your learning processes and related skills used to examine course materials for any given week. You should also highlight 3 activities related to your coursework that you found enjoyable and 3 challenges faced during the work you discuss. There are a few other things to consider too, but I'll let you refer to the highlighted questions in the weekly course modules on D2L for a full list of points to consider. Next, let's think about the purpose behind these 10 assignments. Careful and routine self-reflection on your learning each week encourages deeper thinking about the films you examine and your related reading. Yep, there is also reading to take care of as part of your coursework each week. But that informs you better and provides deeper insight as you and your team establish connections between, on the one hand, mid-20th century cinematic works of fiction, and, on the other hand, real-world issues of the 21st century. Moreover, you have opportunity to identify and correct self-defeating work habits as you develop and refine each of your 10 two-point assignments. Point 3, let's also think about the skills you develop through routine metacognition following collaborative discussion of course materials each week. Now, metacognition is just a fancy way of saying reflection and self-assessment. Revisiting and evaluating your learning on a regular basis provides you with the opportunity to acquire and cultivate numerous next-generation skills. These include, but are not limited to, critical thinking, creative problem solving, forethought, planning, organization, follow-through, clear communication of ideas, content development, and accountability, among others. These critical competencies have become an expectation in the professional world of the 21st century, so it's vital to practice and refine them now. And that brings us to point 4. Crafting your 10 independent reflections between week 2 and week 13 contributes to your overall knowledge in a couple of ways. First of all, routine metacognition helps deepen your understanding of course materials, related ideas, and how that thinking might relate to the issues and challenges facing 21st century society. Second, careful examination and discussion of your independent and collaborative activities each week also helps you identify and correct any self-defeating work habits or patterns. What about point 5? Well, you have considerable voice and choice in the form your 10 independent reflections take each week. For example, you could present your learning in one of several ways. That might include either a traditional 700 to 900 word essay or a 700 to 900 word blog post using an online app like Blogger or WordPress. On the other hand, you might opt to develop your reflection as a 5 or 6 minute podcast using an app like Audacity, Podbean, or Buzzsprout. Or you might instead create a 5 to 6 minute unboxing video using your iPhone. Whichever form you choose to present your ideas, the main thing is to develop and share your thinking in a way that works best for you given your particular creative interests. Hey, we might be in college, but it's okay to have a bit of fun now and then with your academic work. Finally, we come to point 6. Keep in mind that successful reflections on learning in the course exhibit the following characteristics. Discussions should be clear, insightful, and detailed. That means a bit of planning, forethought, and successive drafts on your part before you finalize and submit your work. Reflections should, in addition, revisit your learning for a given week based on both your collaborative analysis of course materials with your student learning team and your own resulting ideas about those materials. Last, be sure to identify any challenges and articulate concrete steps that you can take to improve your approach to course activities. WSTKS-FM Worldwide, digital collaborative learning for the 21st century. If you find this podcast helpful, be sure to hit like, share, and subscribe. Before we wrap up today's program, let's quickly review the 6 points to remember when crafting your 10 independent reflections. Keep both your task and your purpose in mind. Think carefully, too, about the skills you practice and how that contributes to your growing knowledge. Remember, in addition, that you have several options for the form that your 10 reflections take, but do address the various points that are part of a successful self-assessment of your independent and team-based learning. Your first completed reflection is due by 11:59 p.m. on Friday, September the 6th, 2024. And that brings us to the end of today's program. Enable and empower yourself by joining me again in the Collaborative Café for additional tips and advice based on my almost 30 years of collaboration with thousands of undergraduates at 3 Big Ten universities, 2 liberal arts schools, and 2 community colleges across the upper Midwest of the United States. In the meantime, thank you for joining me today. I'll see you in class, online, or during Zoom office hours if you drop by with a question. Stay healthy. Have a safe and a productive week. With special regards from Onyx, that cat what am. So long, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now. You've just heard a podcast from WSTKS-FM Worldwide, digital collaborative learning for the 21st century.